Welcome to the 13th grade. My name's Elliot Schoner. Let's make you rich. Thank you for joining us here at the 13th grade. This video is just going to be a little bit of an introduction to the actual course, the 13th grade, basically financial literacy for everyone, no matter what your age range. Depending on where you are watching this, you will get different degrees of let's just say success at implementing the things that we've done here. You could be watching this on YouTube. It could be a number of channels, a number of other places around the web. If you are not watching this on our website, mundipity.com, I would highly encourage you to stop by the website and consume the information there. I can tell you that 100% the success rate or the level of success that you will achieve putting the principles that we're going to cover here in this course into your life is going to be heavily dependent upon your circle of influence. And we'll talk more about this later. But basically what you watch, what you listen to, what you read, who you surround yourself with your friends, your family, and so forth, who your parents are, that greatly affects your sort of, daily life. As they say, if you are, you got 5 fat friends and you're the skinny one of the 5 fat friends, well, you're going to probably gain a little bit of weight. However, if your 5 friends are, super fit and they're hitting the gym all the time, and they're eating healthy and doing all that, maybe you got an couple of extra pounds, well, you probably are going to lose some weight. And the problem is that even though we've all probably left high school a long time ago, peer pressure is very real. This idea of keeping up with the Joneses and sort of always increasing your lifestyle, a lot of that comes from just peer pressure. If you're hanging around people that are doing certain things, you just naturally are going to do those things. So by coming by the community, I'm not going to go through this whole course telling you why you should be at mundipity.com or why you should join the community. But what I can tell you is that if you are surrounded by people and you're consuming information there and you're making friends and you're making connections there, you will have a higher level of success because you're going to be around people that are thinking the same way, doing the exact same things. And so while you may be acting differently or doing different things than maybe your current circle of influence, being a part of that community, you'll get a sense of a new circle of influence or a new group of friends, and that will help you carry forward, again, a lot of the principles that we're going to cover here. In addition to this, things that you will not find anywhere else on the web that you will find on our website is a lot of the supplemental information that we provide along with the lessons. So we might cover a given topic, let's call it, fix and flipping in real estate. So we might cover investing in real estate, and one of those ways to actually to invest in real estate or to make money into real estate is to fix properties and flip them. So we might cover one concept like that, but because we're not going to go into a super deep dive on that one subject, we will provide extra information. We might provide you a book to read or a podcast to follow, or even other people just around the web that provide really great information. So the point is we're going to provide a bunch of resources on there for you to help expand on a topic that we may cover within the course itself. In addition to that, we might provide you, I say homework, but some handouts and things that will help you do things like determining your FIRE number, which is the number that, or the amount of money that you need coming in each month to satisfy potentially the expenses that you will have in retirement. So, do you expect to have a mortgage? Do you not expect to have a mortgage? Do you expect your Social Security to be there? Do you not? And so it's important for you to completely understand, how much money that you need. And so giving you that worksheet will kind of help you kind of compute that information. So hopefully that makes a lot of sense. In just talking directly about this course and so what it's about. This course was specifically designed to be easy, to be designed in a simple process, simple for you to understand. This does not mean that it is entry level. That does not mean that it's made for a third grader or whatever. The point is, if we went into a deep dive into every single area that we're about to go over, quite honestly, the course isn't going to be, I don't know what it'll end up being, 8 weeks long or whatever. It would end up taking you 2 years. And mainly because a lot of these things that you can do, or a lot of the things that we could expand on, let's just use an example again, fixing and flipping in property, that in itself, like there's people that teach entire 8-week courses on that one specific thing. And so you can imagine, the slides that we're going to go through here are literally, I think we're at like 400, and that's without me adding any supplement information. It'd be, it'd be 4,000 or something like that. And so it would just take forever. The idea here is that to give you a broad sort of 30,000 level foot view of exactly the steps that you need to take to move from nothing to something in a very short period of time, to reach that status of financial stability, and then to reach it of financial abundance, and then, on to creating that massive generational wealth. I am a firm believer that the reason why most people don't implement things in their life, even though you may have heard a couple of things from here and there, is simply because they don't understand how that one component of something telling them to do something, how that affects them, 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road. If you don't, I'm a firm believer, if you don't understand exactly, why you're doing something and how it fits in with a larger puzzle, I just don't think you're going to be very successful in completing all the rest of the steps. Just think about if you're going to the gym, right? If you're like, well, why do I need to, reduce calories and, reduce carbs and work out, and sort of what's the relation of both of those? If you understood maybe that, if you go eat a Big Mac and then you go run a treadmill, like those things are counterproductive. And if you do this and you do that, you're not going to get results. Then you might go, oh, I do now understand why I have to do this and this and this. I don't know, maybe that's a bad example. But the point is that there's several things that need to happen in your life, or that people do in their life, to ensure that they are successful in their, in creating generational wealth. So the idea is that we're going to give you the broad sort of top down approach to, you need to do step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And like I said, that's still going to be about 8 weeks or so. So we're going to give you the full broad range of that. Within that, we will then say to you, because now you know how you're creating income, how you're building credit, why the type of job that you pick matters, because it is going to influence how you may invest or deploy your money to get a highest return on investment, and how those things can actually tie into taxes. Like, you'll understand all of that. And so what happens then is you're able to go in and say, right out of high school or right out of college, and go, I'm going to choose these careers because I understand that this career is going to give me the best benefit to making sure that the income that I do receive maximizes as far as the ROI. Believe it or not, and we're going to radically change a lot of the ways that you're thinking. A lot of people think, oh, I'll just go get a degree. Maybe I'll become a doctor. I'll get a really great salary. And that's the best way to create generational wealth. And that's not necessarily the case. You could be a plumber and actually create massive generational wealth, a completely different field, a lot less education, because the way that you're deploying the money is different. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the difference that we're going to be covering here between the 1% and the 99%. The 1%, through the privilege, and this is just my belief, through the privilege of who their parents are, who their circle of influence are, see, act, and feel completely different about money than someone that is maybe struggling paycheck to paycheck. It is about income, but it's also about what you do with that income that determines if you're going to be successful. The greatest privilege that I believe is who your parents are. If you grew up with wealthy parents, okay, you're going to have seen them do certain things with their money. The way that you act and approach is going to be completely different, because you're going to see how they create generational wealth. My kids are going to pick different careers, and they're going to do different things with their money, even at the ages of 16, than somebody, or I would just say that I did, that came from working class parents. It's not a knock on anybody. It's just the privilege that they have, because the wealthy families have the money coming in, or I'm sorry, because wealthy families know how to create generational wealth, they just live it every single day. And so they give that to their kids, and that's what allows them to kind of continue on, and the rich to get richer and so forth. So without further ado, again, appreciate you, completely honored that you're joining us here. If as you're going through the course, shameless plug, I would definitely highly recommend you go in and check us out. Check me out on social media. We're posting everywhere on all the socials, but we post primarily all the things that we talk about in this course in action. So again, we might talking about real estate fix and flips. We're actually doing those types of things, and we're documenting those things. So if you do want to deep dive, again, we're going to provide some really great resources of other people that are really perfected those particular things. But in addition, you can find us and you can see us actually putting these principles into work. What we teach here is not theory. This is what I've done that's taken me from nothing to something in a very short period of time. That's allowed me to build, over $10 million, great cash flow, great income every single year. Basically, my finances on autopilot allows me to travel, 10 countries a year, allows me to max out, IRAs for my children, provide for their schooling, put them in whatever tutoring. I'm not here to brag. The point is that these are the principles that I put in my life to ensure that I'm successful, and now we're sharing this with you. So without further ado, let's get started.